stern opposition, especially from the citizen, not, opposition of being violent, opposition of actually showing them that when it comes to thinking, they don't think. That is why we saw this other day Professor Jonathan Moyo actually teared down by Dr. Mavedzenge. He has actually debunked toxic propaganda around the presidential term limit, of which I'll be focusing on his views. But before we go there, I think it's very important to play this snippet when he teared Professor Jonathan Moyo. I think I will always like this snippet. Before I read anything that is presented by him, I will always play this snippet. Let's enjoy this snippet.
Because now we are saying, opportunity to respond. Respond to what when I was responding to him?
Please, Jonathan, this is not ZBC.
No, this is not a NCA either. Don't be crazy. You think that we are afraid of you. Who the hell do you think you are?
You see, I think he is the first doctor to ever break down Professor Jonathan Moyo to that extent. Every time, I think if I have time, when I'm doing his presentation, we'll be playing that clip. I enjoyed it. Greetings and welcome. Lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So we'll be focusing on the points that have been raised by the propaganda, Dr. Justice A. Mavedzenge. Number one, he says Section 3281 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe tells us what a term limit provision is. It says a term limit provision is one which limits the length of time that a person may hold or occupy a public office. Number two, Section 95(2)(b) says a single term of office for the president is 5 years long. 3. Section 912 says a person is disqualified for election as president if they have already held office as president for 2 terms. 4. Which of the two fit the definition of a term limit provision as provided for in Section 3281 of the Constitution? Of these two, Section 952(b) is the term limit provision because it limits the length of time that a person may hold office as president to 5 years. Section 912 does not regulate the length of time that a person may hold office, but it disqualifies a person from seeking to hold that office if they have already served for 2 terms. And each term is limited to a maximum of 5 years. 6. Therefore, the difference between these two provisions is that Section 912 regulates the eligibility for one to apply for the job of the president, while Section 952 regulates the length of time that one can serve as president once appointed into that office by Zimbabweans through an election. The term limit provision is Section 952(b) of the Constitution. The 7 judges of the Constitutional Court were right in their findings in Max Mupungu versus Minister of Justice 2021, when they say Section 952B is undoubtedly a term limit provision which cannot be changed without holding a national referendum. 8. No amount of propaganda should change that position. That is the clear. If you go and read the Constitution of Zimbabwe and you get to listen,
Mr. President, now that you are the president,
to what this section, these sections actually speaks to, and you read to how Professor Mavedzenge explained this. You will discuss, it makes sense than what Professor Jonathan Moyo and Ziambi are trying to feed the people of Zimbabwe. Let's remember, we are led by a criminal president who once said this.
Beyond that, the Constitution.
Mr. President, now that you are the president, was it regrettable that President Mugabe didn't leave legitimately and under elections a long time ago?
Now, with the new Constitution, which came into office, into effect on the 22nd of May 2013, we have now limited the terms of presidency, just 2 terms, 5 years. If you are able to have 2 terms, then the maximum a person can remain in office are 2 terms. But beyond that, the Constitution forbids.
Do you give a pledge that you will abide by that?
Would like to entrench constitutionalism in Zimbabwe.
But will you abide by the
I will abide by that without any iota of resistance at all. Even if the people would love me to the hill, I will still go away because I believe constitutionalism is important. And in fact, you must give your people a chance to have other people come. 10 years is not a short period, in my view.
You are part of the old regime. You were President Mugabe's intelligence chief. You did take part in the suppression of the tainted elections of 2008.
Is Emerson Tambuzon
You will be
speaking to a CNN journalist. I think his interview should also be used in a court of law. He considered himself with his mouth the president, the head of state. He said in Zimbabwe, the constitution defines a term as 5 years. And he said a president is limited to serving 10 years. He also went further and said to say 10 years would be a lot of time for any person to actually serve as a president. These are the words that came from the current sitting president, who now is sending people to actually say the other way around. Nangagwa said it clearly here himself, without his understanding of the constitution. The question is, what has changed this time around? Let's listen for the last time.
Was it regrettable that President Mugabe didn't leave legitimately and under elections a long time ago?
Now, with the new Constitution, which came into office, into effect on the 22nd of May 2013, we have now limited the terms of presidency, just 2 terms, 5 years. If you are able to have 2 terms, then the maximum a person can remain in office are 2 terms. But beyond that, the Constitution forbids.
Do you give a pledge that you will abide by that?
I'd like to entrench constitutionalism in Zimbabwe.
But will you abide by
I will abide by that without any iota of resistance at all. Even if the people would love me to the hill, I will still go away because I believe constitutionalism is important. And in fact, you must give your people a chance to have other people come. 10 years is not a short period, in my view.
You are part of the old regime. You were...
he also considered that 10 years is not a shorter period in his view. He said even if his people love him, he will still give other people a chance because 10 years is a lot of time. But now, because we are dealing with a chameleon, this man has forgotten what he said in a CNN interview. Today, 10 years has become so small because he has been looting. He has been enjoying actually to survive freely without working, just getting millions and millions of United States dollars, if not billions, looted from the state coffers, not even caring about the suffering of the masses. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button